So it would be nice to have a little space for people and families
Right, right.
to sit down, just reconnect because it's exhausting. It's a lot. The news is heavy. The news is very heavy. But for those of you who didn't watch the show, please do it. We can boost it eventually again. It's still on our show. It is on our website. Good morning, good morning, good morning. Thank you for tuning in.
Yeah, morning sug. He came still at a morning
He
sleep.
is the person who made up Suggs Mugs.
Yeah, there's Billy B. All my high school buddies are jumping on. This is great, right? Love you, Billy. Buford.
Well, Dad, how are you? How is things over there? Is it sunny? Is the rain stopped? Is everybody kind of what's the news over there in Chi-Town?
Well, there's so much going on. We with the anticipation of the graduation for Devin. I think this is a good opportunity for after creating space families focus to congratulate all of our 2020 graduate seniors.
Yeah, congratulations.
Congratulations! Just it will be a memorable graduation for. And a lot of you missed out on the traditional graduation, but I love the innovation. I love the creativity. I love what some of the families, some of the municipalities. I know the mayor of Chicago is going to do one with Oprah Winfrey doing the keynote speech. But so it's just a wonderful thing to acknowledge the 2020 graduates. Of course, that also includes your brother Devin. His graduation will be on Sunday, so we're looking forward to that. We picked up his cap and gown
Right.
with the right size, extra long, 6'4", 6'5", so hopefully it'll fit. Bright red.
Right, red. That's so funny. And to remind people who maybe don't have kids graduating, what's the plans for the graduating process? What is the routine the kids are going to do?
So what we're doing at Bolingbrook High School, we actually have a ticket. We're going to drive based on the alphabet, A to Z. We're going to drive up to the outdoor stage. The graduate will get out of the car, get his diploma, get his acknowledgement. They'll take pictures. Then he'll get back in the car. So it'll be. I think I'll put it on Facebook Live for everybody to see it. But
You know how
yeah,
to Facebook Live?
the acknowledgement is going to be really, really neat. So I'm looking forward to that. So
Yeah.
hopefully when things open up, we can do something special for him. And, looking forward to this weekend. It's beautiful. It's going to be a beautiful weekend. Might be a little cool on Sunday, but it's going to be a beautiful weekend. And again, we wanted to acknowledge and congratulate all of the seniors from the class of 2020.
Right.
Great.
Right.
So,
It's exciting. It's exciting. It's crazy times, but I'll tell you this: no one else is going to have an experience like this, like the class of 2020.
right, right.
So why not make a name for yourselves? Of course, Devin always had to do it different.
I know. Well, hopefully hope we're bringing a program of hope.
Yeah.
Again, with all the craziness, we kind of want to look into ourselves and find something positive. That you and I have been talking about how can we bring something positive to our audience, and with everything that we have visibility to, we want to bring a special guest on, and maybe you can kind of segue into the show purpose, and
Right.
we can dive into it.
So today, something I brought when we brainstorm. For those of you who don't know, we brainstorm and we try to figure out cool topics that are going on around us, but also things that we would want to learn as people in society, as podcasts and viewer listeners. So one thing that I brought to the table was the idea of purpose. And I mean, what is it? Where do you find it? When do you find it? I mean, are you older? Are you young? And especially for me as a young adult, it's very important for me to find it right now because I'm still searching now that I'm finishing my first year working in the adult big girl world. So it's going to be a very interesting show. For me, purpose is close to my heart because how do you define it? Where do you find it? So I'm glad today that we're going to put some insight on this journey for others. We had a great entrepreneur on a while back, Matt Miller, owner and entrepreneur of M14 Hoops out of Naperville, Illinois, Royal, Illinois. So very exciting. We got to hear his story and how he built his business the way he did, and a little insight towards the end of the show. But Dad, why don't you dive in a little bit why this show is very important, especially right now in 2020?
Well, right now, with our economy suffering the way it is,
Yeah.
with all the negativities out there, we want to provide a program. So F3, we want to begin this series of purpose. So we have building the champion. We want to build a program of purpose, what our purpose is, and what our goals are, and we don't want to allow. We want to give families an opportunity to not allow this pandemic to mobilize our family finances for us. And just kind of look at some ways that we can kind of, sometimes we're in the back seat and our companies are driving us through life. And with that being said, people are losing their jobs, right? And how do we kind of look into ourselves and kind of take control over what's going on? I mean, because you know that might not change, but you can kind of change how you respond to it. I thought it'd be a really, really great idea to bring on a very, very special guest, former teammate of mine, Reginald Grant. Reginald was a ninth round pick out of Oregon, an author, got a book called Managing Your Brand. I mean, he has many authors, and I thought maybe bring someone on that can allow us to kind of deep dive into what purpose is, goals, achieving goals, creating strong achievement drive, and some of those things, and just give a refreshing perspective on some things that our families kind of look at, right, and kind of take charge of your life, because a lot of people are not going to be able to go back to their jobs. So give them
Yeah.
some options. And Reggie has done a phenomenal job. We wanted him to speak. I want to take his thunder, but Reggie's done an outstanding job of helping former NFL players make the transition, giving them ideas, giving them
Yeah.
hope. And I thought it would be a great idea with somebody like yourself who's looking to aspire to be your own business owner someday. I thought it would be a great idea. So without further ado, I want to bring on Reginald Grant, my dear friend, my cornerback. He's fallen asleep. He's up. Morning, Reggie.
Good
Morning.
morning, everyone. Hey, Faith. Hey, Sid. Safer.
How you doing, my friend?
I'm exceptional for a fat old guy. And Faith, I have my coffee cup as well.
What do you
Yeah.
have? What do you have on your coffee cup? Let me see the writing.
As for me and my house, we will serve the Lord. Joshua
I
3
love it.
four
I
15.
love it. I love it. I love it.
That's great. That's great. Well, welcome. Today's going to be fun. Dad presented this idea to me. Of course, he is the prime guest getter for our show. So he's really good at it. He gets the great guest. I'm going to catch up eventually. But why don't we just dive into some fun stuff? We talk about purpose. We talk about finding it. I know this is something I brought to the table with you, Dad, a lot. But let's define the definition of purpose. I mean, what is it, Dad? You want to take a spin for the first part of it?
Well, I look at it as being in doing in my business life coaching, and also being a mid-senior level sales director and motivating and inspiring people to get their goals. For me, I look at it as something that we've learned as athletes. We have to have a very strong achievement drive, right? And I think we learn how to have those physical athletic goals at an early age. But then what happens, as Reggie will know, is that we transition into the real world. And sometimes we don't realize that we can take that same mindset, that same determination,
Yeah.
and transcend it to the real world and create it. And one of the things I was very successful at is getting my people to kind of visualize. We talk about purpose. Purpose changes, but what is it? What are your goals? You have to create a strong achievement drive. But then how do you implement it? And sometimes we get immobilized because we don't set realistic goals. And those are some of the things that I've learned. And I just thought that Reggie could bring a different perspective because he is teaching people how to take charge of their lives, become entrepreneurs. And with that being said, Reg, you want to touch on that if you don't mind?
All right. Well, essentially, you're betting on yourself. And one thing entrepreneurs and elite athletes or athletes in general have in common is that don't quit, Gene. We have a
Right.
different DNA, right? We just drive through it. Have the ability to have a task in front of us, do the daily weekly, monthly, yearly steps to get towards that goal and to complete that task.
Right.
And we just don't give up, right? Whether you're physically exhausted or mentally exhausted. And we talk about purpose. Purpose is just like success. We all define it differently,
Mm-hmm.
Right.
right? Your purpose, your vision, your goal, your mission, that's a little different than Reginald, right? So we all have an ability to succeed. I taught English for 17 years in the classroom, and every kid has special abilities and talents and values they bring to the world. And what I love about you Schaefer, and your family and Faith and your brother is the fact that you guys just you support each other, right? That is a something that you established in your family, and I thank God that my parents did the same thing for my brother and sister and I, and allowed us to have the opportunities that we had and make the sacrifices that they did so that we could have an opportunity to bet on ourselves. And I've always kind of sort of been an entrepreneur, and it really ignited when I was in college and had the opportunity to do some things and make a little money. We didn't make the kind of money and professionals that they make now. It's crazy money. We talked to a NFL mom 2 days ago, and just for 7 to 39 picked him, and he got a $2 million signing bonus. I made $39,000 from 1978. So I was a rookie. So the world has changed. It's different, but purpose is something that's across boundaries of time. It's across boundaries of culture, socioeconomic things. It's all about the essence of who you are as a person, your values, your ethics, and trying to do the right thing and make the world a little better place.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Well, one question for me is I'm still trying to figure out how to mold my own purpose. When do you think that the pressure kind of comes on for people to find? When is
It's
that?
all internal,
Mm-hmm.
Mm.
right? So it means if you have the pressure, that means you feel that you can achieve more than you're doing,
Right.
right? You are at a place that's okay. I've done this year. I went through the initial wilderness. I wrinkled out. I get this. I can do this. But hopefully you'll be able to hone that into more what you enjoy doing,
Right.
help you to grow emotionally, spiritually, and economically, right? And we're always going through a process of figuring that out. And you just have to do it a little differently in the early cycle of your life. And we all transition. You were an elite athlete, so now you're transitioning from working out every day on a high level with other people and being super duper competitive. Now you're taking that competitive spirit, that drive, and that focus, and you channel it into a different direction. So you're navigating new waters. So you're
Right.
kind of figuring it out, right? And it's always a process. Even in my new book, Schaefer Shore this just came out. I just got the first copies this yesterday, right? Entrepreneurial Guide to Starting Your Business, and it just talks and walks through the whole dynamic of the process. There's even a segment on the entrepreneurs, the mindset, what elite athletes and entrepreneurs have in common.
Mm.
Now, we talk about the basic business, but intellectual property, the most valuable commodity on the planet, are your thoughts.
Mm-hmm.
Bill Gates doesn't make computers; he uses software, mind, to create things that make the computer work better. If you don't think about it in those terms and understand the value of it, you don't truly understand intellectual property. Talk to people every day about their business idea concepts, and so many of them don't understand it. One thing to have an idea, it's another thing to go through the steps to bring it to fruition.
Mm.
And it might be 1,000 steps along that journey to make that happen. And along that journey, as you're making it happen, you're learning new things, you're testing new concepts, you're developing new processes. So we're always growing and developing, and that's what separates entrepreneurs and their mindset and elite athletes is that gene that says, I will never ever give up. I will do everything everything that I can to make this thing a success. And not it's not always about money. People get caught up in that dynamic. It's about quality of life, right? I want some people to retire NFL players Congress and a company called J's Design, and it's a factory. They have the largest factory of licensed jackets outside China, and I go in there Monday. They're not quite opened up. 40 million square feet, 250,000 square foot building downtown LA. So you know it's worth it has some value. But
Mm-hmm.
you had the grandfather who was the founder of the company. You had his daughter. You had his son-in-law who's the president of the company, and their two daughters, and they're in there having lunch together. That's quality of life.
Wow.
They're at work, but they're enjoying each other and feeding off each other and having that chance to just have a conversation. And
Right.
this pandemic has created a situation where you have an opportunity to spend more quality time with family. Do
Mm-hmm.
you choose to make that time quality and enjoy and embrace it? Now, I have three daughters, and they're all three living at home 14, 16, 27, eating me out of house at home, driving me crazy. But I have a chance to talk and have conversations, even in this passing, even for a few moments, on things that we would never have a chance to talk about. I'll be at the office or traveling somewhere. They would be in their classroom, traveling back and forth between getting from school and to school and all the activities they're involved in. So it's a whole opportunity for us to bond, to spend time together. Yeah, my mom and my aunt and everybody else in my immediate family lives in Seattle. We've had Zoom and many conversations. So I was not spending time like that to enjoy their brains and their energy and who they are as people, and all because of the pandemic. So it's created a window of opportunity for me to grow my relationship with my family members. Um, it's just you just have to take the lemon and either you eat it and make it sour and you pucker up, or you put some sugar in it and make some lemonade and have
Right.
fun and enjoy the process and the journey of life. There peaks, there will be valleys. There are always challenges in life. If you don't have things going wrong, then you're not doing anything,
Right.
right? It's
Well,
a roller coaster. It's a cycle of life. Schaefer?
that taps into a little bit about our show on Wednesday, right, Dave?
Yeah.
All the time you spend with your families. That this is something we grew up with at the dinner table, but with this pandemic, is giving families an opportunity to look at the positive, look to be the positive, and say for some of those families that didn't come from our kind of DNA, where there's desire and setting goals and being athletes. They're sitting there immobilized because they lost their job, right? What would you say to your normal family that they've always had to rely on someone else, a job to kind of drive what their goals are going to be, right? What steps could they actually take to begin the process of thinking about, you know what, I want to control my own destiny.
Well, again, in the old days, and living in New York, they call it the hustle, right? You got all that side deal going on. You're always doing something.
Right,
That
right.
means you're betting on yourself. No matter the statistics will show that the average person will work maybe 5 years in a job nowadays and then they change jobs. 35 million people approximately are unemployed right now. So there are tremendous opportunities for you to bet on yourself, whether it be an idea you have for a startup company online, whether it be selling some stuff online, whether it be creating some face masks that you can sell at your local market that's got a branded identity on it, right? I had a lady contact me about selling face masks, and um, the whole dynamic of the process is no matter whether you're working for somebody or you're out there developing how to be an entrepreneur, then you're betting on yourself.
Like,
You are a brand. So how you manage, how you deal with people, how you evolve relationships is important. But being an entrepreneur is not a singular thing. It could be selling hot dogs on the side of the road.
Right.
It could be writing a book. right? It can be all kinds of things, especially with the advent of technology. And we thought it would take us until 2030 or 2040 or 2050 to get where 5-year-olds and 80-year-olds are now embracing and using technology every single day. And it's embedded into our life now. So from 120 days, now we've eclipsed and mobilized and moved in a different direction in less than 120 days. If you really just think about it, wow, you got a paradigm shift.
Right.
Now everybody, my 80-year-old mother, 82 years old, is using Zoom and stuff, right? And they she's been on a little Facebook and all that. And I belong to this group to my international group, Johnny Methodist Band. They're doing Zoom meetings for the church all around the country, all around the world. And we will never go back to 100% how it was. But
Right.
things change, they'll change. They say 40% of parents say, I'm not sending my kids back to school. It probably won't be that high. Maybe 15 or 20% will probably never go back to the traditional education model. People have begun to understand and embrace the use of technology in their educational process. And you have to do the same thing in terms of your business mindset.
Mhm.
So again,
Like that.
uh, the life cycle of life has changed. You adapt, you adjust, you become like the dinosaurs and become extinct. Right? Just enjoy the process. Right? You don't have to know everything. You don't have to be everything. You don't have to learn everything in 1 second. It's a journey through the mental wilderness of change. If one thing is inevitable, everything changes.
Right. Right. Um,
Well, I think it's interesting also because before this pandemic, the idea of college education was very interesting and debatable subject. And you saw companies like Amazon and Google are starting the hiring process of people who did not have a college degree. And they're kind of opening that door for people who had not gone on that path. And so then now you see the shift to the more entrepreneurial mindset a lot, especially going into 2020. So now that this pandemic has started, it's very interesting to see how the education system will bounce back and people will see if college is necessary. And now that also college institutions are doing a lot of their schooling online. I mean, Dad, what do you think about that? Can you imagine a world where a lot of people are doing their education online, getting their masters online, getting their bachelors online, and starting their own companies? I mean, it's a new wave of technology and creativity that comes out of this 2020 change.
Well, this has always existed in the
Yeah.
backdrop of things. People, a lot of people that are doing things online, they're getting their education online, they're raising families. Housewives are going back to work, they're going
Mhm.
back to school, and the only way that they can do that is do it online. So, as Rich stated, it's our educational the way we teach is going to be different going forward. So I think this new normal,
It's
this new
exciting.
normal. And I think I saw a tremendous amount of value. Yeah, it is exciting. And what I would like to, and I like to brag on the Red, but just can you kind of maybe deep dive or give us a full scope of what you actually do and the different businesses that you have?
Um, a simple, a simple thing to be, I'm a consultant. Primarily now I work in business development. Um, I mentioned earlier Paraphrase Congress. My function there is not as an employee, but as a consultant. I We have lots of people that bring transactions, deals, opportunities to us. And again, staying focused of an athlete is one of our big pluses, and the ability to say no 100 times before you say yes at one time. So the Congress, I'm the keeper of the gate. I'm the person in the front door. Essentially, we bring a deal to the table. I evaluate it, see if there's value, the people are good, if there's an alignment and a fit to who and what we do and how we can add value to them. And I do that also through my time for esportsconstruction.com, which I've had since 2000. And it's done many things over that cycle from having a license with the Rose Bowl and producing some Mary Bill collectible stuff to actually doing Shark Tank type of things around the country through our platform, Esports Accelerator. We work with people in a non-traditional format, in a
Okay.
non-traditional way. to help them flesh out their business ideas and look for people that either just have an idea and they want to take it to fruition. They're along the path in some way, shape, form, or fashion. Yesterday, for example, I talked to a black female-owned coffee company that makes 5 hour type energy coffee shots out of Florida. I
Hmm.
talked to a guy that owns a technology company in Canada that has a thing that goes in your brain underneath your helmet or underneath your work helmet on the job if you're on construction that can track all of your brain activity when you fall down or have an injury. It would have all the data from your history of the time that you have that. Um, so I work with a whole range of people, and it's always about the business fundamentals are the same,
Mm.
right? How much does it cost to get started? How much does it cost to produce and sell a product? How much does it cost to acquire a customer? The fundamentals are simple. They're the same. Just basic principles. You need basic fundamental math. You need basic fundamental degree to read and write. And you need to have that work ethic about hustling. But being an entrepreneur, again, I've said this my whole life. It's just about getting up and each day. I'm going to take one step forward every day.
Yeah.
So we work with people in a wide range of industries, a wide range of companies, just to help them to live their vision and their dream and take that intellectual property, that thought, and turn it into something that they can make a living on, or create some value and income for their family. And you talked about education a little bit. Now let's get right into it. I do a class in sports management at Boston College in the summertime. And then that class now, of course, is virtual this summer. And the way we're creating that class is different. Like I'll have different people come in and interview, and I'd love to have both of you come in and do a quick interview and talk to kids about 5 to 10 minutes about the opportunities and business and how they can navigate that process of
Mm.
being in the sports sector. But again, it's the process of education now. It's going to be a hybrid of what we do. We're going to
Mm.
go to class a little bit. We're going to do a lot online. There's going to be a lot of opportunities for people that do not have that traditional 4 year and 6 year college education to get in the game and make a living.
Right. No, that's neat.
I can talk all day. As a teacher
Yeah,
for
yeah.
17 years, that's all I did. Like, shut up.
That's awesome. Well, I mean, then that makes you an expert on all of this.
I'm just working me. It's just I have a buddy that owns an online school, and it's funny how people come in your lives. And 20 something years ago, we met through a mutual friend, and I kind of gave some insight of my perspective on the world. Then he went off, and I didn't see him for 15 years. And then all of a sudden, he found me, tracks me down, and says, "Thanks, man. You just gave me some insight. You changed my life." And I said, "Wow." So
Mm.
you never know how you're going to impact people, and that was one of the truly gratifying things about being an educator. Definitely wasn't the money,
Right.
but the fact that I had a kid that I'm standing in Subway, down in Jiffy Lube, and somebody runs up to me and says, "Hey, Mr. Grant, I'm so and so, and thank you for helping me," and da 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 da. So you never know how you're gonna have a positive impact on people, and that was just so gratifying. I get a postcard one time in the mail. I said, "That's a kid." I said, "Woo!" And it was international students. Yeah, I taught public school plus international students. I was 17 years old as a teacher, and he was from abject poverty in Mexico City. He learned that in order to have tremendous success and grow up the cycle in terms of not just education, you had to learn academic American English. He did that. He had a tremendous work ethic. I met him here in Los Angeles when I was teaching out my UCLA. And then he becomes a priest. He's sitting in the Vatican. And he says, "Your card said thank you." My first book about 6 or 7 years ago was a teacher's new education in America. And I had did a little study about
Mhm.
work ethic and why students come to America to study English. And his vision and mission was to have a successful life. Right? So it's amazing how you can have an impact on people. And the education system continues to create opportunities.
Right.
What you know, if you're carrying this little uranium, and mine is bond, I have no hair. It's good city gray hairs if I had hair. So that give us value and opportunity in life. There are so many people out there that are don't understand their great ideas, their creativity. You know, you can take their creativity and make a little chain somebody could paint and sell it. There's just so many things you can do. It's just a matter of understanding the process. I offer a little free class we're doing online for the last 3, 4 weeks. It's an hour long. Now I just talk about the dynamics of the business process and how you're just betting on yourself, and you just do that, you'll be okay.
Right.
Well, I mean, that's cool because we talk value, we talk how to find your opportunity and also things like that. But how do you? I mean, your purpose doesn't have to be about just getting money. I mean, for someone's purpose, how can you use your life story as a way for you to kind of find your purpose and kind of find? You could be maybe starting a foundation. It could be writing a book. I mean, how? What is the process of using who you are into forming a purpose, molding it, I should say.
But formative purpose is all about how you can add value to other people by utilizing your skills, your passion, your abilities to impact other people. I've worked with the National Alliance of African American Athletes for the last 29 years. And 1996, I'm in San Diego and Rancho Bernardo and meet their place up in there. I said one sentence that says National Alliance of African American Athletes have a conference in LA. So I make arrangements. I drive from San Diego to LA, having no nobody in this organization, but at the University of Oregon, I paid about 15 guys to end up in the league. And most of them thought they were going to be in the NFL and they're going to play forever and they had no other purpose to drive in their life. I understood fully that my education was my path to having a successful life and having value in my life. My parents just pounded that into us. And so I saw this, it's like, wow, there are other people that think about academics and success, not just athletics and success. And you can have both. And so I drove up there and got involved in the organization. I met Lee Steinberg then. Reggie White was there, Warren Moon. And we just, had a conversation. I got involved in the organization and just look back and it's been 29 years they've been in existence. It'll be our 30th year coming up. And as you know, your brother was the honoree for the Midwest for this year. And 26 years, or since 1996, I've been involved with the organization. I was the chairman for 8 years. Been helped to grow the organization from just a little organization to the national promise in the space of what it does. And it works with and mentors young African American male scholar athletes and helps them navigate that process so they can find what their right vision and mission is. So that they can be okay with being an academician. It's okay to be a schoolboy or a schoolgirl. It's okay and it's the right thing to do to reach out and help and mentor somebody else. We have
Mm.
about 10 or 12 chapters around the country for guys that start their own version and do their own thing. Justin Blaylock in Plato, Texas does a musical thing where he provides scholarships and opportunities and educational resources for kids that have a love and a passion for music. Nothing to do with football, right? Um, now the kids have started. Lorenzo Alexander, who just retired, has a foundation opening where he does education related things and reaches back to kids and helps them to facilitate the process. So for me, I was looking at academics, and that's how I ended up working with the nationalized African athletes, the walking towards color athletes. So as you go on the journey, there'll be some things that say, this is what I need to be doing. You go in and find out about it. And today, with the internet, you can go out and do research on things that you're passionate about.
Right.
I,
Right.
I was Tuesday, we did a pitch event, virtual course, with Harrisburg University that we were supposed to have done in April in Harrisburg, Pennsylvania, and we had 7 companies, um, women, boys, I mean, males, Indian, Chinese, female, black, white, presenting. And all those groups. So you had the whole diverse spectrum of the country and the world right there in one setting, presenting their ideas and their thoughts. And it was
That's
some
wonderful.
beautiful ideas, right? Some of them were in high school, some of them were in graduate programs that had already graduated from college, but they were all taking some thought, some concept, and working towards making that something that can impact the lives of people. And on one set, Fair Play had come up with the concept to make a more simplified controller for gaming so that kids with disabilities or learning uh, restrictions or not fully cognitively available, but all the learning disabilities a regular person may have could play video games. So their whole game, and they came in second place. They have a template concept that could be a worldwide deal that could change the dynamics of that landscape of esports. And I've kind of touched on that stuff since 1998. So when I saw that and I read the business plan, I was like, wow. This is some kids in high school that had found something that said, we want to help somebody else. And that's how they came up with that idea.
That's
Right? We
wonderful.
didn't touch somebody else in a positive way. So again, your social relationships is not just about chasing money. It's about making a positive impact on other people's lives. And that's normally, or many times, how it adds value to you as a person. Does that make sense?
Oh, yeah.
Yes.
I, I love that. They always say you don't keep it unless you give it away.
Exactly.
You don't keep it unless you give it away.
Right? Now,
You
people don't
better.
want to see it from you now. That's another matter. Right? And I've been in rooms where the people I know, and I sit down and I said something to them. For example, I was in an event in Digital Hollywood with somebody I know for 20 years, and he got me in this event. There was $1,000 to get the event for 3 days, and $350 for one day. It was an elite type event, the elite of Hollywood, and I'm in there, and it was exchanging some information with him in one of those breakout sessions, and I shared the name, the concept of one of my domain names. Expected it. He stole the domain name, went and registered it that night before we had the next meeting the next day. I go, oh, I just been bit by a little shark. But it just reminded me that everybody's not nice. That the world is a vicious place for some people, and not everybody has the value system that you have. So you just want to just try to weed through the process and not deal with them people, right? I try to do business with people that I have the same kind of value set that I do. They want to make win situations. They want to add value to you. You add value to them. Now, will you get robbed sometimes? Yes, but that shouldn't define your trying. It's just like you're a basketball player and you make the winning shot. No, but it takes you 1,000 times or 5,000 times or 10,000 times in that gym missing the doggone shot. So success only comes back after lots of personal many failures.
Yeah.
You see people like the guy that owned Starbucks or founded Starbucks. It was 268 times he presented before he got the one person that helped him to get that started and invested in him. So if you quit too soon, you don't reach your success. You don't reach your potential. You don't achieve that thing and make an impact in the way that you did because you gave up. And that's again the mindset of an entrepreneur, the mindset of the elite athlete, have that DNA that says, I will not quit.
Right.
Till the bell rings, the bell doesn't ring, so I'm dead. You say, get all this stuff done and you do it. But I try to stay in my lane. I know thousands of people. I don't try to do everything. If I know I need to do something in a different space, I'm going to call an expert. Or I'm going to refer that to somebody else. Entertainment bill, you bring the entertainment bill. Yeah, it looks beautiful. Huh? I'll go boom, boom, bump that. I'm gonna call somebody else and say, here's the number, call them. Right? You need some money for this project? Okay. My guy that handles the money, I'm gonna call him and give it to him. Do I always make money in that? No. But I send it to somebody that has the same value system that can assist them, that can have value to what they're doing in a positive way, and that's my mindset. Not even gonna add value to.
Right. And well, I mean, we talk about the no quit mentality. How does setting goals help with the no quit mentality? Because at the end of the day, it's hard when you how many times this
Life is
Starbucks
hard,
get
but it's hard. If it was
yeah.
easy, everybody would do it, first of all.
Yeah.
But again, you have to enjoy the process of the journey. Embrace the difficulty of it, right? That's what athletes do. They embrace how hard it is. Hey, you're working out for 8 hours, 9 hours a day. That's part of the process, right? So you just embrace the process of doing. You just embrace the process of it takes many, many, many steps. MINI steps, right? Small, tiny steps. I want to walk to Chicago. It's 15, it's 1,000, 12, 1,500 miles. I need to take that first step. I
Right.
take that first step and that second step, and I learn new things along the process, along the journey. So people some that want instant gratification. There is no instant gratification for happiness in life. There is no instant gratification for success, and we all define success differently.
Right.
Some people, it's only money. That's not any success. Talked to a gentleman this week. He's part with $500 million. This company invested $100 million a year into startup companies. Now you have to be at a certain level for them to invest in you. And he was talking about misery he was having, and he started living in a $2 or $5 million apartment in New York, and he was miserable. So money can't define happiness. It can provide opportunities for you to have quality of life, but it's about relationships. It's about people. People talk about networking. No, it's not about networking. It's about relationship development.
Yeah.
I talked to a young man yesterday from San Francisco. First person I met in person, and we did social distancing. Right, I'm in the office. We had just like a big old round table. So I made it way in the other end. He was talking about his children, got 10, 11, 12 years old, and his journey through his little tech company he's working on. And he almost started crying because his wife died 40 years ago. But he is a pillar of love for his kids, right? He's instilling the values that she had, and they had a couple, and helping them to grow as people and learn how to embrace the process of life and embrace the process of. And I wanted to hug him. But social distance, I ain't hugging nobody, right? I'm not a huggy feeling kind of guy, right? But I just empathize and felt empowered being in his presence because he's the kind of person that I like to be around. He's the kind of person I try to surround myself. And you want to just kind of understand it's not about the big things, it's about the little things. Even being an entrepreneur, it's about the little things. It's about finding out what you're passionate about and trying to figure out a way how you can put it into a revenue stream.
Yeah,
You don't have to be a millionaire. You don't have to be a company that goes and is on a New York Stock Exchange. If you're a small company, you make a living for your wife, you're providing jobs for people in your community or your family. Like I said, with the people that had that factory downstairs, he said, we're back to the first floor. We was forward we started this company and we did everything. They had 100 employees and, did millions of dollars in business. And now he's back evaluating where they started at. So he allows him and his family to connect the dots. It always ends up about being about people and evolving relationships and doing business with people that can empower you and you can empower. And he's going to uplift people and make a positive difference in them.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Well, I mean, after you, so you find your purpose, you find your plan, you know what you want to do, and you're starting to form relationships. What's the next step for those people? What's their fourth or fifth step on the 1500 step?
Wait, again, you mentioned goal setting, right? You
Hmm.
have your 5 year goal and your big vision. You have your year goal, you have your month goal, you have your week goal, you have your daily. I have my daily, all the stuff I got to do. I got 18 things in there. I started with yesterday. I'm down to 9. So I take them 9 and put them on my little list. Right, go right there. The fundamentals of business itself is simple, right? How can I analyze what it's going to cost me to make this t-shirt? How much does the shirt cost? How much does it cost to get printed? How much does it cost for me to sell? How much does it cost to sell to find a client to sell it to? Am I going door to door? Am I calling somebody, calling on my friends and said, buy this shirt? Am I using and leveraging social media? Um, so the fundamentals of business are primarily the same. Again, there are many resources online. Again, my new book, Entrepreneur Your Guide to Starting Your Business. In that book, we have how to do an analysis and write a business plan, how to write down your concept, idea, vision, then take and mold that into a plan, and just go right through the many steps of. It's just like writing a paper in college,
Right.
right? You come up with the idea. This is my idea. This is my thesis statement. This is what I'm going to get done. You do all the reading and research on it. You write that down. You do the outline. You formulate some paragraphs. You write it up. You come now. I wrote, a 10 to 12 books to get an English teacher, and reading is a passion of mine that I've always loved. And then I started writing my thoughts down, and you write that plan up, and you come back the next day, and you say, "Oh, I can add this to it. I can take this off on it." And that's how at the end of the month, you got a 40-page document or a thesis for your master's or PhD, or a business idea you want to flush out. And it could be a simpler idea where you don't need that complicated stuff. We over make things complicated. It's simple.
Right.
Life is simple. Are you happy? Are you moving towards your goals? Your goals, just like this world has had a paradigm shift, those goals and where you can go changing, right? I never thought I would be a teacher. 17 years I ended up teaching. I was on the state board to create the test that every student in the state of California takes if their English is a second language, whether it comes from Somalia or China or Israel or Turkey, it doesn't matter. State of California or any state, take an assessment that says, where's your English language skills at? And you continue to take that assessment until you get out the school system. I had the opportunity to help create that test. So everybody is touched by that test, but I never thought I was going to be a teacher. So it's the farthest thing from mine. I want to be a football player. I want to be a businessman. And I learned that education was important in knowledge, and that all the people in the school had college degrees. So that's why I wanted to get a college degree so I could, work with my brain instead of my body. My dad worked for Boeing for 29 years. I remember times when he had that work ethic, they laid him off. He had 8 newspaper spots. He didn't have a job at that time. He
Right,
was
right.
really giving me the foundation to being an entrepreneur, right? And he'd get up at 2 in the morning and deliver papers all night long, and then get up and get us off to school.
Hey,
I
Reg, do me
always
a
been on
favor.
him.
Can you put that
Go
book
ahead,
in the
Jason.
front? Put your book on.
Oh,
Where can you get the book? That one, yeah.
Amazon.com, man. ReginaldGrant.com, Entrepreneur Your Guide to Success. Just Google ReginaldGrant.com.
Okay,
Right?
okay.
Just
Awesome.
Google me. There are 250,000 Reginald Brands in the world, in America. I own that brand. I manage my brand. Right?
I like that.
Right?
I
So
like
if you
that.
have a name, PaySubs.com.
Yep.
One of my associates has a company where he helps entrepreneurs, Bandway.net, he helps entrepreneurs or people that have jobs to navigate the process of becoming an entrepreneur. So you keep your job and you work on the process of learning how you can have tax benefits being an entrepreneur
Mm-hmm.
or starting a small business, whether it's reselling stuff on Amazon. You don't have to manufacture products. You can sell somebody else's stuff. There are affiliate programs. There are all kinds of opportunities. You just have to get up off the couch, or actually, you don't have to get up off the couch. Get on your laptop and just search what you want to do, where the opportunities are, and what you're interested in facilitating and through that process. You can always find me at reginaldbrand.com. And again, the new book is Entrepreneur, Your Guide to Starting Your Business, the required mindset and skills. So in the first half, we talked about the mind and relationship development and how entrepreneurs are. And I talked about a story about when I was young and crazy and ran into a brick wall and you don't let anything stop you. In the second half of the book is purely about the little skills that you need, things to understand. How it can be, we sell t-shirts. You can sell t-shirts, right? You can sell mugs, right? It's the whole process of writing it down on a piece of paper like paper. Start that process with, okay, here's my idea. What's the concept? What other resources I can find? How do I do an analysis? How do I review, give the idea? How do I, if I need to raise money and I want it to buy myself or let somebody give me money so they can tell me what to do, and I'll raise money. And maybe I have a concept. I have these guys out of I work with that had a earbud, Natural Logistics, and 3 years ago I met them. Put the earbud in, you plug this thing into your laptop, the laptop will think
Uh,
just so you got 5 patents or 10 patents now that did the Department of Defense here in the USA and in Israel are counting at the finish that. But again, it took them a while to go through that journey. Uh, the other company has a new technology that instead of having to go in and do the like surgery on your knee in the old way, they can go in and do it microscopically and repair that. One of the guys has working with has a knee brace that is fits in like a glove on your leg. It's a totally different technology.
right, right,
They use the
right.
laser printing process, and so you go in instead of this old raggedy big huge monster thing that's light. And he was an engineer, and he had bad knees as a young person. I say young person. I'm old now, right? He was in his late 20s, and he was like, "I'm gonna have to get surgery and get everything replaced." And he actually came up with something that helped him. Now it's gonna help the world, right?
Right.
Dave Johnson out of Virginia. So you never know where your path is going to
Right, right.
take you.
So
Right.
you're
So you
saying
keep
that we
going
can,
on, and it's not like you're done. Smart
yeah,
people never stop learning, right? What was one of the beauties of being a teacher is, yeah, I had to deal with all the administration and all the paperwork and all the knucklehead people. They're inherently, most of the teachers, most adult people, 99.9% of the parents love their children and want them to have success. They just don't always have the understanding of the tools or the resources that help them where they want them to go. And almost every kid wants to learn, right? Teachers will always come to me and say, "Well, how did you get that kid to do some work in your class? He doesn't do anything about that. That's because you talk to him like he has no sense. You talk to them and give them respect and give you respect." I learn things every day. I have 3 kids out of New Jersey that came from the idea of having a Christian-based sports league 3 years ago. And she was dogmatic on this. She was out there every day. She told me, I tell her to do one thing, oh, no, she'll never come back. She won't do that. And she'd do it and then call me or email me back. So eventually, I began to help them, and so they're now there was a sister and 2 brothers. He was a senior, and there was a sophomore and junior, and they just kept plodding along. And they're launching next week, Play Esports Safely, which basically is an online place for kids to go and play esports games, and they